The following game you're about to see contains scenes of extreme violence that should not be viewed by younger audience. You've been warned. On May 16, 2016, id Software revived one of their well-loved franchises that revolutionized the first-person shooter. Doom, aka Doom 2016, was a huge facelift for the series, showing everyone what shooters are and what are they supposed to be. Now it's 4 years later, and it has finally released the long-awaited sequel with its second name on the PS4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and Steam. But the new upgrades make you want to rip and tear demons up in satisfaction. Welcome to the HUD everyone, I'm Zacharoni, and today I'll be a waiter who will be going through some of the features that the single-player campaign has to offer, with the multiplayer mode titled Battle Mode in another video later. So without further ado, please be seated, and here are the toppings on Doom Eternal's single-player campaign. In the year 2149, and let's hope this will never happen, the UAC mining base on Mars was under siege by the forces of hell after someone decided to leave the gates open for them. But luckily, a tough space marine known as the Doomslayer closed the gates of hell, and the UAC are still being idiots on studying the remaining artifacts that were left behind. Now it's 8 months later, and the forces of hell have returned to wreak havoc, only this time they have taken the slaughter to Earth, which is led by the Hell Priestess, who wants to reshape the Earth in their own vision. So hell on Earth, the Doomslayer had been called upon to clean up the mess that the UAC had left, and as you go deeper in the story, you discover more about the Slayer on who he was and how he became who he is today. Plus, there are documents to find that explain more about the lore and history in the game, even if the game itself doesn't really care about that and the story. In fact, I bet a couple of people had already skipped this article, and I don't blame them really. So let's move on, shall we? Just like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal is a first-person shooter of the 90s set in open-ended levels for fast-paced action with key hunting and secrets to discover. When you start the game up, you are put straight into the action with quick tutorials that show you how to play. And then after that, you are presented with the Fortress of Doom, which acts as the game's hub. Here, you can fully explore the fortress where you get new upgrades for finding batteries, and you can train your skill in the training arena where death won't punish you. Once you're done exploring, you can continue with the story that presents itself in chapters, where your objective is displayed on the top of the screen, but you can't proceed until all demons you encounter are dealt with. On the top right corner is the number of combat encounters that the chapter has to offer, which is represented with 4 colors. Red ones are the standard encounters, pink ones are the secret encounter that requires you to defeat all enemies before time runs out, purple ones are the Slayer Gate that can only be accessed by finding keys in the environment, and yellow ones are the boss encounters where you face special foes with health bars on the top middle screen. Plus, there are challenges to do that give you an extra battery if all 3 of them are done, collectibles like floppy disks that allow you to activate cheat codes, and if you don't know what a floppy disk is, go ask your dad or granddad, and figurines to find that are based on every character in the Doom franchise. And at the end of each chapter, you are presented with a summary of how many combat encounters you did and the things you have collected. From the destroyed cities to the grotesque demon design, the game presents itself with realistic 3D graphics that is powered by the new id Tech 7 that runs at 60 frames per second with loading time lasting around 10 seconds. Mick Gordon returned to compose the soundtrack that featured the first level song of the original Doom, but this time he's gone for a heavy metal choir, with the vocalists performed by members of multiple heavy metal and rock bands like The Anchor, The World I Knew, and The Ministry. Cutscenes are still presented in the Doomslayer's perspective, but now there are moments where you'll see him in person with the camera spotlighting him. Voice acting is also present in the game, but saying who they are playing as might spoil the story, or experience because no one gives a tap about the story. But I will say it featured Jason Spicek, Keith Silverstone, Nike Futterman, Pierre Tomico, Elizabeth Daly, Elle Newlands, and Kevin Shun, who reprised his role as the Slayer's companion, Vega. And for options, you can alter the volume for music, sound effects, voices, and the master system, set audio mixing to speakers or headphones, turn the Slayer's grunts off if you find them annoying, set hit notification sound to arcade, classic, thump, splash, or meat, and turn subtitles on and off. But if you do have them on, then you can set the speaker name from first line to always or just turn it off. Turn subtitle background on and off, and set the font size from regular, small or large, while PC players can set the windows to full screen, borderless or just windows. Set a number of monitors up, change the aspect ratio from 3.2 to 25.16, alter revolutions from 1176 to 3840, turn VSync on and off or just set it to adapted or triple buffing, turn HDR on and off, alter the field of view from 90 to 120, set motion blur from low to ultra nightmare or just turn it off. Set the gamma of the game from 0.5 to 1.5. Adjust the loot drop brightening from 4 to 100. Set the performance metrics from low to ultra nightmare or just turn it off. And activate color blinding rendering mode that comes in 3 options to customize. Plus, you have the advanced options that allows you to set the quality of shadows, reflection, lighting, and water, and alter the FPS from 60 to 1000? Gee, I bet that's going to be hard to keep up with. Yeah, I'll try it later, if my PC can run it, of course. Just like the 2016 game, there's no regenerated health, armor is your last hope of defense, and you have to keep moving at all times, otherwise you'll be swarmed by the hordes of hell. Luckily though, the Slayer can move fast, jump, and double jump, but unlike the 2016 reboot, he can now swing on monkey bars for more traversal, attach onto rough walls and climb on them, and can dash in any direction to avoid incoming attacks. As for weapons, you start out with a standard shotgun, and then you unlock more weapons like a heavy rapid cannon, a plasma rifle, and a rocket launcher, and they don't feature any weapon reloading. Each weapon has a primary fire and a secondary fire, like the shotgun can fire sticky bombs, while the rocket launcher can lock onto enemies, but they are only unlocked by finding weapon mods that are easy to obtain in the game, with the exception of the Super Shotgun, which now has a harpoon launcher that locked onto enemies, and then you can pull yourself straight into them. And as you keep finishing encounters, you get weapon points that can be used to upgrade the weapon mods, like faster reloading or increasing damage size. Another weapon you get at the start with the shotgun is the chainsaw, which is not only used to tree surging enemies, but you get ammunition that bursts out of them. But unlike the 2016 reboot, the chainsaw now has a regenerated meter after using it, which is displayed on the right with this symbol. However, the bigger enemies require a set number of gas canisters for the chainsaw to be effective against them, so you have to decide if you want to finish it off quickly or save it for emergency ammunition. Grenades also make a return into 2 types: explosion grenades for, well, explosion, and ice grenades for freezing enemies in position for a few seconds, and you also have a flamethrower to use on anyone at close range, and just like the chainsaw, they have a regenerated meter as well. For enemy variety, you got your mad possessed soldiers, flying gargoyles, and hulking hell knights that will try to swarm you in numbers. And if you damage them enough, then they'll start flashing, and this is your opportunity to do a glory kill by melee attacking them, and your reward for doing so is extra health. However, some demons have weaknesses if certain conditions are made. For example, launching a sticky bomb at a caca demon's mouth makes it exposed for a glory kill, while the carcass can have their cannons removed if you fire at them. For upgrades, there are suit points that enhance your grenades and exploration, crystals that increase the Slayer's health, armor, and ammo storage but will affect the suit's upgrade menu, and runes that give you new and enhanced abilities like performing glory kills more faster and slowing down time while in the air that you can equip up to 3 slots in the ruin menu. Finally, there are life pickups to find that will give you a quick recovery when your health is down to 0, and there's even a special mode where lives are actually essential, because if you go down with no lives to spare, then the game is officially over, which can be played in any difficulty setting before you start the game. Doom Eternal will cost you £49.99 on PS4 and Xbox One at retail, or on PSN, Xbox Live, Google Stadia, and Steam that requires 50GB of storage that comes with 33 achievements and trophies, with a platinum as well. But if you want more content, then you can get the deluxe edition at retail or digital for £79.99 that comes with the Demonic Slayer skin for the Doom Slayer, a sound pack that changed the sound effects for all of the weapons in the game, and a 1-year pass that gives you 2 extra campaigns within the first year. But if you didn't go for the deluxe edition, then you can download the year 1 pass on its own for £24.99. However, for Steam users, you will need a Bethesda.net account before you start playing, and if you don't have one, you can set one up for free. Plus, the game is still scheduled for a Switch port, but no release date has been confirmed by it yet. Well, that's some of the features I can talk about right now, but if there are some that I have missed, let me know in the comments, and I hope this will give you an idea of what you'll be getting for your money. Check back with me later, and I'll tell you what I think of Doom Eternal and all the other games I've been playing in the completed menu. And if you like what you see, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Plus, stay in touch with my Twitter page, link in description down below. But until then, I'm Zacharoni. Enjoy your pizza, remember to wash your hands, and I'll see you next time.